That's so hard.
Back in 2019, Eliud Kipchoge ran the world's first sub 2-hour marathon. It was the athletic equivalent of landing on the moon. It was that much of an achievement. And pretty much ever since then, every YouTuber and his dog has wanted to test themselves to see how long they can last at Kipchoge's sub 2-hour marathon pace. So here I am today, a YouTuber, gonna see how long I can last at that pace. Now I already know that it's not a very long time, and I've got a little bit of padding to do in this video. So let's talk about Kipchoge and a little bit about Kelvin Kiptum. So Kipchoge's sub 2-hour marathon, let's talk about that just for a second. It was 1:59:40, right? Whole 20 seconds to spare. And that was a good minute and a half faster than his last marathon on the road. But this sub 2-hour marathon was not deemed an official attempt, and it cannot be compared like for like for those that are doing well in official road marathons. I think it's important now that we talk about all the benefits and advantages he had over those people that just run in regular road marathons. Kipchoge's effort was laced with advantages that you wouldn't necessarily get over running in a general road marathon. Now, for a start, the location in Austria. It was specifically designed to be wind-free, low altitude for additional oxygen, and a nice, clean, straight out and back route between two sort of roundabouts. It was a 5k loop, and every 5k loop, a collection of pacers were introduced and rotated through. He had 41 pacers that were capable of that pace running alongside him. Those guys were then told to run in an arrowhead formation, again to break the wind and allow additional draft. Those pacers were following a laser line projected on the floor in front of them with the exact pace required. If Kipchoge needed some hydration, then that was passed to him via a bicycle, so he didn't have to slow down for that at all. His effort was then reinforced by the fact Nike had re-engineered the Vaporflies, their sort of leading energy efficient shoe, and laced it with additional energy return components such as the extra stack height and the toe air pods. These later became the Nike Alphafly in general production and release. So one of the reasons that I'm making this video, the Run as Fast as Kipchoge video now, is that there has in fact been someone that is challenging Kipchoge's reign at the top. Kelvin Kiptum here ran a 2-hour 35 marathon in regular marathon conditions. That's with all the wind, the terrain, the gradient, the competition, slowing down for hydration, all of it. And that is insanely close to this. Not only that, he was 24 years old, and he had an entire career ahead of him in which he could chip away at Kipchoge's times. Now, sadly, Kelvin was in a road traffic accident just a few days ago. It's a terrible loss in life, but a massive waste of athletic potential. He could have gone on to do amazing things. He would likely have been the one person that could have ran the sub 2 hour in normal marathon conditions. So yes, he is the reason why I'm making this video today. Now, I compared his splits with Kipchoge's to see, what the difference is in actual pace. Now, if you figure it out for this particular race, the Ineos unofficial race, it works out at 2 minutes 50 kilometers. Okay, so that's the sort of pace I need to get to on the treadmill. Now, in comparison, Kelvin's was 2 minutes 51. That's how close it is, spread out, literally 42 seconds. So that's over the time that I'm going to be spending on the treadmill. The pace difference between these two runners is completely negligible. So the other day I went into the gym and it was empty. Hi everyone, I am in a gym all by myself. I have this Live Fitness treadmill. It is capable of getting up to Kipchoge's maximum marathon pace. I've seen no end of YouTubers that have attempted to see how long that they can hold that pace for. At most of them it's only a few minutes, and I suspect mine won't be much greater than that, maybe even less. But since I'm now a YouTuber and I do these kind of things, it makes sense for me to have a go, and why not now? So I'm going to set the treadmill up, I'm going to get it up to pace, and then we're going to see how long I can last. And I had a little look around like this. I thought to myself, I think it's about time I gave that pace a try. Quick Google confirmed it at 2:50, and I thought, right, let's have a go. I didn't have my best running shoes with me. I just had a set of Puma Nitro Deviate 2s, so I threw them on and I cranked this thing up, and the treadmill sounded like a washing machine at that point. And you look at the conveyor belt going around and you think to yourself, that looks a bit like an industrial sander. So I then had a little think. If I fell off this thing, I was in the gym by myself, I should probably put the emergency clip on. I looked at the back of the treadmill where I would fall off, and there was about 2 feet of space. Now, as a 6-foot human, 2 foot of space and a massive mechanical, almost sander, the whole thing just didn't sit right. So in my mind, I was always a little bit nervous at the top end of this run-in. Okay, that's an experience. Bit of an impromptu attempt. That's running just over 22 kph or something like that. 252 minute kilometers. I feel a bit unsafe running at that speed in a gym all by myself. Now I'm confident I could probably go another minute or so, but that top end, you get compromised real quick. It only takes a little slip, trip or fall to end up in a lump there. I don't even have clearance really for my entire carcass to come to rest without being cheese grated by the actual treadmill. So, but it is an eye-opener, that's for sure. Really interesting. Oh man, how does he do that for marathons? It's unbelievable. So, I came into the gym just the other day, and quite out of the blue, I thought, let's see how fast Kipchoge actually runs. So I quick Google the pace, and I put it into the treadmill and gave it a go. On that day I came and I was in my Puma Nitro Deviate Elite 2s, and I don't think the playing field was completely fair. It wasn't completely the same. Everyone knows Kipchoge. When he ran that one, he did so in some Nike prototype shoes. These later became production shoes known as the Alpha Fly, and these apparently give you up to 2% extra performance on the track. So that's what I'm hoping they give me today. Okay, so we've seen what these guys have been doing just lately. It's now time to see if a 85 kilo middle-aged dude can hold on to Kenya's finest. How long, in fact, can I hold on to Kenya's finest for? So after that first attempt in the gym, I managed about a 1 minute 30, something like that. I thought to myself, right, I'm going to come back another day, I'm going to bring a couple of cameras, and I'm going to just have one continuous effort, just to see how long I can hold it. So in addition to my cameras, I've brought one additional ingredient, and that was my Nike Alpha Flies. These are the production version of those shoes that Kipchoge ran in. Obviously the ones he ran in were designed completely around him, his running, his form, his feet, but they then later sort of fine-tuned it into something they could sell on. And these shoes went on sale for like £300 a pair. It was ridiculous. So inevitably I ended up with a pair way back when, and I've been running sort of miles and miles and miles in it, but I thought if I'm going to be doing the Kipchoge running treadmill challenge that I would in fact wear his shoes. The only downside to doing it on a treadmill is most treadmills, certainly most gym treadmills, are sprung. They have a flex deck, I think it's called, which just sort of takes the hardness out of your running, so it doesn't sort of hurt you as much. Then when you wear high stack, high foam trainers like the Alpha Fly, you've kind of got sponge on sponge, and it gives you this weird bounce, and it's not necessarily a good bounce either. By gaining that additional height, what generally happens is the treadmill starts to shrink, and when your stride gains, it's gaining extra inches as a result of going that fast, everything beneath you just shrinks, and at that speed you feel quite unsafe because it doesn't feel like you've got enough to run on. You can get a little unsteady, certainly after a couple of minutes of running at that speed. So I suddenly become very conscious very quickly that I'm in a gym by myself. There isn't enough space to fall off, and in that moment I realised that I hadn't even put the safety clip on my second attempt. Eesh, that went through my mind about minute 1.
Oh God. That's so hard. Oh. Hardest spot is feeling unsafe. That time I forgot to put the safety clip on, and the penny only dropped at about 1 minute. And I was already halfway in. Okay. And oddly, as hard as that was, the heart rate didn't max out. I think given another 30 seconds, that was about 2 minute 10, 2 minute 15. Legs are going like bumblebee wings. Oh.
So I managed about 2 minutes 10, 2 minutes 15. It all started to go a little bit red toward the end. And I needed to jump off that treadmill before I ended up splattered against the plate glass window immediately behind me. It was an eye-opening challenge, that is for sure. When you see these guys on the TV and they're just floating along and they absolutely seem to be doing it effortlessly, that is because of years of training and diet and routine, and they are very disciplined and fantastic athletes all round. The world is obviously worse off for losing Kelvin Kiptum. He would have likely gone on to have broken the 2-hour marathon in the road running capacity. He would have definitely gone on to challenge all of Kipchoge's best times. So that's what this video was all about, really. Just seeing sort of a 85 kilo middle-aged dude run as fast as he could for just about 2 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed watching it. It was quite fun to film. Please give the channel a subscribe, and I will see you in another silly video soon. All right, Mart out.